So we're in the DeviceAnywhere booth, and DeviceAnywhere is something I've written about in the book. It's something that I talk about in pretty much every single time I get up and speak and consult with people. And these guys solve a really interesting problem, which is when you're doing device testing or when you're creating mobile apps, mobile websites, whatever, you have to be able to test it on devices. And you can use the emulators and simulators and that sort of thing, but they're unreliable, they're really difficult to use, and they don't always help you solve the problems of how is this phone provisioned on this network and somewhere, you know, for a Baby Bell or for like the East Coast on Verizon, like testing Verizon iPhone versus AT&T iPhone, or even testing like another example. We had a project we were doing where we had a problem with in New York on AT&T iPhone was able to transfer data back and forth really quickly, but for some reason an iPhone and that sort of thing. So DeviceAnywhere, what they do is they allow you to it's a service that you can rent a phone, and then you have this software where you're actually seeing a screen of the phone, and then you can interact with all the different hardware features, and it sends back real-time feedback. You can power cycle it, you can put it into airline mode, you can do it a bunch of different things, so you can have, it's basically just like having the device at your desk sitting next to you, which has been crucial when you're doing design or development. Now, what's really fascinating about this is the way they do it, so you interface with this on your desktop, and then it actually goes over to a data center, and they have several different data centers across the country, and then they actually have to solder into the circuit boards to be able to provide those features. So as you're remote controlling one of those devices, this would actually update in that data center. So only one person can use this device at a time, but it means that you don't necessarily have to have a bunch of different devices, a bunch of different data plans. In fact, that phone we were just looking at is actually right over here. This is the exact same screen that we're seeing right here. So this can be done both in a cloud as a downloadable app, and then you rent the device basically by the hour. They've got a pretty easy to use plan. They also have, for the question I've had with a lot of customers have had is, how do I do this with real secure data? So now they actually lease this to you, and you can actually put it into your data center, and you can do all of your different data testing. Now, we were actually talking before we were rolling the camera. We were having a chat with one of the reps, and a big question is, do you still need to do this device testing now that things are kind of shifting towards these platforms? Like, for example, do you need to test things on the 4 or 5 different flavors of Android? And he was definitely saying yes. He was saying that there's a lot of bugs that happen in between all the different various versions, and that even shipping simple apps still requires testing across multiple apps. And this is one of the best solutions I've found to be able to do this. So while we've been at CTIA, I don't feel like I've really pitched anything. This is one service that I could walk away with and use every single day, and definitely do. They didn't have to actually walk me through the product at all, so I know it really well. But anyway, so this is probably one of the best finds we've found for you, and definitely check it out. It's DeviceAnywhere.com.